So here's what we're up to today. New idlers here. The old ones are. They've seen, none of the lads have seen the day. Very bad wear here. So this part of the chassis of the machine holds the idler. These are the idler guides. And these were all wore down really badly. So there's new track adjusters in it to push the idlers out and keep the tracks tensioned. Remove the link out of the tracks, which is here. Use the gas to cut it out, to shorten them up. And yeah, ready to weld. Spend a few hours welding here so that we can get them in. This is template. I know whenever them guides are in the right size, because that template, that 100mm box section will sit straight in there. Well, that's the plan. Just needs a bit of a grinding. There's none of it anywhere close to being finished yet. But I'll set the camera up and we'll have a bit of a look. That still has to be built up. Size like. Gap here still. Top of the bottom. So the bottom here isn't as bad as the top because all the weight of the machine always sits up. The idler will always be sitting up against the top side. So the top side's always going to be mush, which I already have a couple of strips of rods on it already built up, so the bottom's not as bad, but it's not good. There's a lot of wear. There's also a lot of wear along the sides. Up here, there's a lot of wear. You can maybe see it in the camera. So I'm going to give it a bit of a clean down now. It's not bad. A good friend of mine gave me these welding rods. Just have no 1/8, they're no hydrogen rod. Fantastic rod to weld. These here are cheap, €10 box. They're fine, weld very well. Not issues, not a spatter with them. Pop it on like well. I'll run one of each side. So while I'm not just sure how many rods that was, but probably down a lot. You know, the 6 rods. But it's coming down slowly. Definitely close. drops in. It's not perfect, but it's very close. That is a little bit bigger than the Isla by a couple of mils, so I'm dealing with, if that goes in, the Isla works. I just need it that it's very close and obviously very little wear. I've tightened this up a little bit, but left it that this here pretty much goes in. I need another bit of build on it, but it's very close as well. It's coming up nicely. So I'm going to run a few more passes and hopefully soon be near finish the top. So back here again today. Just going to set up the camera here and get this baby going, get it lifted up and start doing another wee bit of welding. We're starting here again today. We're well squared up here, we're not too bad. Bit to go, but getting closer. This bit needs a bit along here and needs a bit of a build up along the side here. Just get into it. Not the prettiest on the inside, but that was because I'm having a wee bit of an issue with those rods. They're great rod to weld with, but some of them are damp, so they cut in and out, and then it's actually, I'm at a long angle here trying to get in from this angle, and upwards doesn't really suit to put a weld there, so I'm just kind of in a bad position. So yeah, but anyway, got a few stripes on it. It's only for wear, so it doesn't matter. It's looking a bit squarer now, so I'll get it ground down and we'll be a bit better off. Put a wee bit here as well. I felt it with my hand, it was a little bit low, so might actually put another wee touch there. But anyway, it's coming along. I'm pretty happy with that now. It needed that. It needed that layer up along that to keep that, to square that up. ready to just start up here now on the lower side. Good bit on, to put on them too, but will be a hell of a lot easier done than the top. Tidy this up a little bit more. Now that I have her down at this level, it's easier. These here will do well. There's plenty on them now to keep it happy. So yeah. So quickly mark this up here. You can see just exactly the area that I'm going to weld. So everywhere in between this white line, right across, and this edge here, I'll need to build it out a little bit as that's wore away. This here side now, I'm just going to use this here as a gauge. See my wear mark. And yeah, you can see where I'm going. And again, I have to build it out the side first, so the base is on to come right out on. So get the side straight first by doing it like so, and I'll get that's straight before we go any further. So we got it well ground down, well away actually. She needs could have done with a longer. My disc is wore out and I need a new one, but it needs a little bit it's a little bit high on the inside. So this here now is coming to a point where it's very close to just slotting in, a little bit high in places, and it's just not making it just yet, but it's very close. So that actually worked out pretty well. I got the tablet to fit in, so I'm going to try the idler in now and get it hooked up, get it in. Hopefully it all works out. So I just wanted to show you here. So what's going on here is this is the extension for the back of the idler. This is what hooks on here. It bolts on, I should say. And when it bolts on, it pushes the idler out. So this here sits in here, pushes against this, and then that there, you can see the mark it's left. You see this here has been welded onto this as an extension, since what happens these is the end of this can burst if it extends too far. So this has been added on as an extension. So I'm about to cut this off now because we're about to go back to the way it should be. So we got that cut off, and that's the way it should be. And that's going to slide in here along with the idler, like so. It is a little bit worn, but it won't matter. So these new idlers, I want to speak about them for a second. So these idlers are actually solid steel. They're very, very heavy. And what we have had was originally, these idlers are actually hollow. You can actually hear it. But that's what was wrong with that idler, was the shaft was gone. There's a lot of play around. But these are a lot easier to work with. Nice and light. But I guess it doesn't matter. We have new ones now. But these ones are solid. Probably Chinese or something, but makes no difference what they are. To do the trick, to do what they're supposed to do, I'll be happy. So yeah, just get this bolted up now and get the machine down and try and get it sliding in and out.
I just cut that thing off that. Sorry, extension.
These bolts are damaged a little bit. They were on the old, they were on this here while it was rubbing up and down on the chassis of the machine and damaged them. But the guy that gave me these here, I asked him for new bolts, he didn't send them with it, but these ones tighten up, they're fine, they'll never break. They're very substantial, so I've just decided to put them back in the way they are for now and tighten them up, or not loosen them. There's only this little small Milwaukee gun. Have the big one as well, but this one seems to be fit to do a lot of the jobs you'd ever really want to do. I could put a bar on that after that and it'll be even close to, I wouldn't get any torn at all. So that's what's ready to go in. So I'll get a little bit of footage now in a minute of us putting it back in and get the machine back down. This has actually worked out pretty well. So the idea was there was a lot of wear along here, a lot of wear on the top and the bottom where I was welding and grinding, and this fits in just absolutely perfect really. But the problem is with these machines is that I've learned of a guy who works with this every day, is on the lower side here, this actual plate along the side stretches over time, so the machine walking pushes that plate out and it leaves you with a gap here. Now that gap's not ideal, but the only way to push that in is hydraulics, so I plan on getting a porta power ram to push that back in whenever I get a chance. Generally would heat this here with a bit of gas along here where it's mainly where the stretches, and squeeze it back in till you're back into where it should be. So that'll be the next job whenever I get a chance. So the camera died here on me in the middle of putting that track back on, but I hope it got some of it. We have it back on now. Bit of grease laying there, so clean that up now in a while, but it actually worked out very well. It's very tight. The new sprocket here, being so well built, like I mean, having so much extra on it, it actually helped tension up the chains on the tracks. Here's the one for the other side now to be put on the other side, and that's the one that came off that side. So it's, you can see the tooth as well wore. They're not the worst as being on machine, but it's just nice to have it actually the way it should be. So I'm going to start it up here now, and I'm just going to check the tension on the track, run it a couple of times and just check the tension, and then I'm going to jack up the other side. I have a couple of jobs to do the other side. I've checked out the specs on these tracks, and the spec to tension the track is, should actually set it up really, but
Sorry, no.
so from this center point here, you should run a string. You should run a string, or yeah, anything that you can keep tension on, from this point here across to the other side over the end. And when it comes off the end, you'll be left with a gap here, and that gap should be 1.5 inches on this machine for the correct tension on the track. Now I think it's a little bit more than that at the moment, but it's very close. So I'm going to get probably a bit of building line or something and check that now and see where we are. Another thing is, it should be sitting, this part of it here, this link here should be sitting on a joint here, so that that's kind of falling properly, so it's not giving me a false measurement. So I've tied on the string. You can see the string is laying. Now you can see the gap. So the gap is what I'm looking for to be 1.5 inches. So at its lowest point, I don't want it any more than 1.5 inches, and it just turns out it's absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect. That's the lowest point, and it's exactly 1.5 inches. So that's good. So that's it. That's the tension on the track is done. This side is finished.